I get a lot of people asking me how we were blessed to walk away from corporate America in our early 30s. Well, listen, I don't want to keep that a secret. I want to share it with the world. And so maybe you're listening to this podcast and you're trying to figure out, how do I even get started on my journey of entrepreneurship and getting to a level of freedom? Well, text the word freedom to 737-777 9909. Enter your information in, and we look forward to sharing some information with you. A proven system with small overhead, right? That you can do part-time, spare time, right from the comfort of your home, and have amazing mentors, coaches, and a community of entrepreneurs who are willing to support you and help you on your journey to freedom. Welcome to Code Freedom. I'm your host, Eddie Bales. Have you ever felt stuck? Have you ever felt like there's got to be more than life than the reality that you see every day? Tune in weekly, Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays as we crack the codes to freedom in every area of your life. Welcome to Code Freedom. I'm your host, Eddie Bales. This is episode 83, and today we're going to talk about what we can learn from Lebron James. Now, before I even get into this episode, let me preface this by saying that I am not the biggest LeBron James fan. So let me start off by saying that if we were going to do a debate, as so many people do, on LeBron or MJ, I'm going with MJ hands down all day long. MJ is the GOAT, right? However, there's still a whole lot we can learn from LeBron James, and I do respect him as a businessman. I do respect him off the court, and don't get me wrong, I respect him on the court, right? I just don't think he's a GOAT. So enough on that right there, because I could go all day on that one. But check this out. There's so much we can learn from him, and just recently, history has been made because LeBron James is now the first active NBA player to be a billionaire. That's correct. You heard me right. And I know some of you may think, oh, but what about MJ and some of the others? Well, MJ did it after he left the NBA, but LeBron is actually the first in the NBA to do it while he's still active in the NBA. And so his salary is 330 million, and then his endorsements and his production company have totaled to 700 million. And of course, I think what really put it over the top just recently is Space Jam, which just launched not too long ago, right? This month. And so, some of his endorsements include Nike. He got a lifetime contract with Nike, GMC, AT&T, Walmart, Beach, Pepsi. And in fact, the Nike contract is actually estimated to be $1 billion contract in and of itself, right? Over a lifetime of earnings, right? But he's got a HBO show, he's got a ABC game show, and also several documentaries. And like I said, Space Jam, I think that came in with 32 million over the first weekend in the box office. And so, he has joined the upper echelons of people like Tiger Woods, who is a sports billionaire in the sports industry, and Floyd Mayweather, and of course Michael Jordan, who's earned over $2 billion. But again, that was after his career. Tiger Woods and Mayweather, they did it while they were active in their career. And at the end of the day, it doesn't matter whether it's active or after the career. The fact is, they are billionaires with a B, right? And, the reason why I wanted to talk about this today is because you may be thinking, okay, I could care less how much LeBron makes, right? But we must learn. We must always look for learning opportunities in everything. And so let's break something down here. His salary with the NBA, his actual career is 330 million, right? But his uh, investments and things of that nature, and other things that he's been able to earn from are 700 million. And that's the part that I want to kind of hone in on, because if you remember, I know I've talked about this on this podcast, but the cash flow quadrant from Robert Kiyosaki in Rich Dad Poor Dad. You have the E quadrant, the employee. You have the B, which is the I'm sorry, you have the E, the employee, then you have the S, which is self-employed. Then on the other side of the quadrant, you have the big business, and then you have the investor. And the part I kind of want to hone in on is the investor side. Matter of fact, I just did a couple trades on some stocks this week, and on both of those trades, I made 50. I had a 50% gain. And so the whole goal is to start to get to a place where your salary, no matter what you're doing, whether it's business, whether it's a job, whether it's whatever, you want to get to a place where your investments are outproducing your salary. I'll say that again. You want your investments to outproduce your salary. You want your income, you want your money to make money, right? And so that has to be a focus. That doesn't just happen. It just you don't just fall into it. Now, yes, we know being in the NBA, you earn a lot of money, right? So it's a little different for the average person than it is for a NBA player who can just command millions right up front and be able to make these types of investments that typically the average person doesn't even have access to some of those investments. But that doesn't mean that we still can't take advantage of those philosophies and those ideas, right? Even what I'm talking about today with the stocks that I did, that took me investing in some courses, learning some new skills, and then going out there and putting money into the market so that it could bring a 50% return, right? Uh, I could have lost it, right? And I have lost some money, right? But I have earned income as well. And so what I'm focused on now is just continuing to build a substantial portfolio. And so I'm sharing this with you because I know a lot of people think, oh, retirement is 65 or whatever they say it is now. No, 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 no. That's what we've been sold. Retirement is not has nothing to do with age. Retirement has everything to do with how you've been able to invest your money and how much money you can live on without having to work. Um, Basically, right? So if you can invest, like for instance, I know sometimes people are like, oh, you should have a 401k or you should have mutual funds and all this other stuff, or even I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm a big advocate of life insurance, but I'm also a big advocate of having streams of income that will continue when I'm not here, right? That is the most important thing to me. All the other things are great to have, and I'm a big believer in all those things, right? However, I want to have so many things set up that when I'm no longer here, my whole next 5 generations are set up. Does that make sense? And that's kind of how I want you to think as well. That's the code to freedom, because it's not just about freedom for yourself; it's about freedom for the next generation and the next generation, so that they get to live a different lifestyle. I'm not talking about for them to be a brat and for them to be stuck up and just think that everything falls in their lap. No, we teach them business. We teach them how to build and how to grow and all those things. But they get to start off ahead instead of starting off behind, right? They get to start off, further ahead based on what we've been able to learn and how we can teach and grow them, if that makes sense. So this is not about legacy today, anyways. But I just thought I'd throw that in there. But again, you know, LeBron James has done some smart things with his money. There are a lot of NBA players who haven't, but there are a lot of NBA players who have. And it's ironic that the other day I was just talking about Giannis Antetokounmpo, and today I'm talking about LeBron. Hey, maybe we'll stay in this vein for just a little bit, because Shaq is a really big investor, and he's done very, very, very well. I don't know if he hit the $1 billion mark yet, but I know that he's done very well with his investments as well. So that's something we could look into as well. But my point is, listen, you don't have to be an NBA player, and you don't have to already have made millions to earn millions, right? Or even billions. But we do have to really start to look at, okay, what am I investing in? Have I invested in myself? Am I investing, period? And if you don't know what to invest in, I'm not a financial advisor, but hey, you're welcome to reach out to me. We have our Facebook group, we have our Facebook community. That's the whole point of that Facebook community. And by the way, plug, that's at thewaytofreedom.info, thewaytofreedom.info. It'll take you right to the group. But add as many people in. The whole goal with that is to create a community, a mastermind, if you will, of people who are focused on freedom, who are focused on breaking these codes to freedom down to a place where we can all have the freedom that we deserve, right? I see a day where, man, one day we'll have code freedom retreats and all kind of other stuff. I mean, I'm telling you, I already have a vision for this community and everything that we stand for, because I really want people to have this freedom. Once you taste it, you'll never go back. You'll never even accept anything less than freedom when they say, if you live in America and you don't own a business, you've given up your right to be free, right? And Harriet Tubman said, "Look, I would have freed thousands of more slaves if only they had have known that they were slaves," right? And so it's just an interesting thing to really discuss and talk about and think about. But you got to sometimes just get around people who think that way, who are operating that way, and say, "Hey, what are you working on? Hey, what are you doing? Tell me more about that. How can I invest in that?" And just start growing together and get to a place where we can literally call the shots. We don't have to, we can be debt free. We can give the way we want to give and give. I'm not talking about giving and like the nonprofit ends up keeping most of it and gives a very small portion to whatever mission that they're talking about. I'm talking about like getting to a place where, hey, 100% of whatever you give goes directly to whoever needs to get it in the community, right? I know LeBron built a school, and he does a lot of other community outreaches and things like that. And that's what it's all about, folks. It's about being able to give back. It's being able to really have an impact on society, have an impact on your community, but also have an impact on your family and your legacy, because that's what we're here to do. I mean, obviously, number one, our focus is to walk in the will of God, right? But I believe our purpose is a part of walking in the will of God. Our purpose is our walking in the will of God. And there's some things that He needs us to do in the earth. And if we can live a life of freedom, then we can do it that much easier, and we could do it on a 10x type of level. So I hope you guys got some value from this. And it's just great talking about these types of things, because all I know is in the circles where I grew up, these types of things weren't talked about. So you have to seek out that type of information if you want it bad enough. And we're going to keep talking about it here at Code Freedom. I appreciate you guys for all you do, all your listening that you continue to do. And again, continue to connect with us. Let's grow, let's build, and let's go out there and make it happen. God bless you all. Take care, and God bless. Thanks for tuning in. Appreciate you guys for listening. Definitely feel free to take a screenshot of this episode, tag me in it on Instagram or Facebook or wherever you find me on social media. I would love to give you a shout out. Hey, you might even get a prize. Who knows? But excited that you had a chance to take a listen. I hope you got a lot of value. And definitely feel free to give us 5 stars as well as a review. Show us some love, and we appreciate you. God bless you all, and see you all over the top.